Chapter 449, The Detachment of the Dragon Pearl. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The Blood Spirit Queen is also a top superior. She has a chance of becoming a half-saint in the future. I'm afraid she isn't expecting to die in the hands of a warrior in the heaven realm such as you. De stood outside of the Langwen Golden Bell. He praised and nodded his head as if he admired Zhang Yuochen. Those who did not know the truth would actually think that he and Zhang Yuochen had an intimate friendship. The path of cultivation is about going forward step by step. The Purple Wind Emissary said, "We can only reach the Holy Road if we are standing on solid ground." Even though Zhang Yuochen has help from the Sarira, it is an external force. There is a huge difference between us in terms of cultivation. If you give the order, young master, I will chop his head off. De raised his arm and gently waved it. He said, 5 of the 7 kills emissaries of the Black Market Excellence Hall have arrived. We also have 2 holy weapons, Roaring Flame Hammer and the Langwen Golden Bell. If we want to kill him, it won't be difficult. But I still want to give him another chance. He continued, Zhang Rukin, as long as you take the initiative to sacrifice your martial soul and join the black market, I can assure you that your future position among the younger generation of the black market will be second only to me. Zhang Yuochen smiled. You don't give up, do you? You still want to make me your shadow? De did not deny his intention. He smiled. Originally, the person I took fancy to was Bukion Fan, but after seeing you, I realized that you are more suitable to become my demonic shadow. If you were my shadow, my strength would double. De was practicing the picture of Omen's congenial magic chi in the Omen lithograph. Before he reached the fish dragon realm, he had to find a genius who was as talented as him and integrate their shadows into one. If he succeeded, his fighting power could increase several times over. De's current strength was already invincible among those in the same realm. Even using all his means, Zhang Yuochen had only won by a narrow margin. If he improved his strength, by the time he became a saint, he would be able to deal with a group of saints all by himself. It was not easy to practice into a demonic shadow. De needed to find a genius who could keep up with his practicing speed. Obviously, Zhang Yuochen was the best choice. De could not bear to kill Zhang Yuochen unless he really had to. De said, "You are Buddha Emperor's descendant. You should understand that everything in heaven and on earth has karma. You dug out my demon's heart, I will refine you into a demonic shadow. It's tit for tat. Don't you think it's reasonable?" People in the black market are reasonable? Zhang Yuochen questioned. De smiled. The black market is open to business with everyone. It is not only reasonable, it also plays by the rules and rituals. We will certainly handle a traitor like Silvermoon harshly. He winked at the Purple Wind Emissary. He understood what he meant. She grabbed her purple torch spear and rushed out. He displayed a heaven-earth splitting spear movement and attacked Silvermoon. The spear struck out, driven by genuine chi. Suddenly, everything changed. The 4 images of heaven and earth, wind, rain and thunder all began to attack. They flew out from the tip of the purple spear with tremendous momentum. The heaven-earth splitting spear was a mid-class ghost-level martial technique, but it was completely beyond the scope of martial technique. To ordinary warriors, it was comparable to a god's technique. In fact, any ghost-level martial technique was beyond the imagination of the common people, let alone the ghost-level mid-class martial technique. The Purple Wind Emissary broke through Silvermoon's defense and pierced her in the abdomen, wounding her severely. If the Purple Wind Emissary shot her again, she would completely lose her fighting strength. That is, if she didn't die. Zhang Yuochen grabbed the Dragon Bone Spear he had seized from the Glazed Knight Commander. He activated the divine dragon strength of the Dragon Pearl and swung the spear to stop the Purple Wind Emissary. In the distance, De smiled. He seemed to be expecting that Zhang Yuochen would come to help Silvermoon. You should also take a shot, De said. The Blue Emissary, the Orange Star Emissary, and the Glazed Knight Commander attacked Silvermoon from 3 directions at the same time. Zhang Yuochen saw them from the corner of his eye. He instantly understood what De was trying to do. At first, Yi had used the warriors from the Silver Sky mercenary group to contain Silver Moon. She had been attempting to withstand the Langwen Golden Bell sound wave when the Purple Wind emissary hurt her. Now, Yi was using Silver Moon to contain Zhang Yuochen in the same manner. He was using the Open Conspiracy. The so-called Open Conspiracy meant that Zhang Yuochen knew Yi had set a trap for him, but he had to make the jump. It was brilliant. Zhang Yuochen immediately withdrew and retreated. He swung the Dragon Bone Spear. It hit the Orange Star Emissary and sent her flying. Clink. The Orange Star Emissary crashed into the Golden Bell's light wall, letting out a loud noise like metal colliding. The Golden Bell shook and formed into a large fluctuation of energy. The Orange Star Emissary slid down. She knelt on the ground and spat out a mouthful blood. Her face was extremely pale. It was apparent that she had suffered severe internal injuries. She had an amulet treasure that helped her to block most attacks. Otherwise, she would have been more seriously injured. Crash! Just as Zhang Yuochen sent the Orange Star Emissary flying, the loud sound of thunder came from behind him. The Purple Wind emissary applied the heaven-earth splitting spear again. The tip of his spear stabbed Zhang Yuochen in the center of his back. It would have penetrated his body if it had been just 2 centimeters deeper. Yi nodded his head. He was excited but felt an ounce of regret at the same time. He was excited that Zhang Yuochen had finally walked into his trap and would die under the Purple Wind emissary's spear. He felt remorse that such a great demonic shadow candidate was going to die here. Suddenly, his expression changed. A ball of golden light had flown out from Zhang Rukin's back. Swoosh! The golden dragon pearl flew out from Zhang Yuochen and hit the Purple Wind emissary. It pierced her, leaving a huge blood hole. The dragon pearl had been so fast that the Purple Wind emissary did not have time to activate her amulet treasure. How could this happen? My cultivation is at the 9th change of the fish dragon realm. I have practiced into a glazed treasured body. The Purple Wind emissary retreated 7 steps and knelt on the ground. He looked at the blood hole incredulously. A harsh pain spread out from the wound, causing his face to distort in agony. Zhang Yuochen turned around. The dragon pearl flew back and floated between his hands. Zhang Yuochen was excited. He looked at the dragon pearl in surprise. He seemed to be talking to himself. The dragon pearl can actually fly out from my body, and the power it gives out is even stronger than holy weapons. The dragon pearl suspended in his heart and had strong power to protect him. It could actually turn into an aggressive holy weapon and penetrate a glazed treasured body. Who could defeat a half-saint? Of course, Zhang Yuochen was also very clear that the reason he had been able to evoke the dragon pearl out was that he relied on the power of the Sarira. If he lost the Sarira, with his current cultivation of the medium state of the heaven realm, he could never bring the dragon pearl out of his body, unless his cultivation reached the fish dragon realm. I must work hard to break through to the fish dragon realm as soon as possible. Once I succeed, I can truly use the power of the dragon pearl. Swoosh! He struck out the dragon pearl once again and sent the blue emissary and the glazed knight commander flying at the same time. However, they all there opened amulet treasures in advance. They were seriously injured and fell into a pool of blood, but they did not die. Zhang Yuochen can actually control the dragon pearl of the golden dragon. Everyone, leave quickly. The red wish emissary had been refining a blood spirit pill, but when she saw how powerful Zhang Yuochen was, she quickly rushed out. Zhang Yuochen chased after her. When she exited the light screen, he took advantage of the opportunity and leapt out. Outside, he looked up and saw a small golden bell suspended in midair. It was the true body of the Langwen golden bell. Zhang Yuochen was sure that there was half-saint from the black market hiding in the dark. He knew that the only way to escape was to shoot the Langwen golden bell down. His spiritual power could already feel the half-saint's aura. Shatter for me. Zhang Yuochen immediately struck out the dragon pearl and aimed toward the Langwen golden bell.